Hello all you half-pints out there, and welcome to another Town of Salem gameplay video. Today, we're playing some ranked gameplay. As you can see, there is the webcam up in the top right-hand side that is going to go off once we start getting into the real game, and then it'll come back on when it's time for the commentary at the end. The commentary is going to be added in post, which means that I'll be commenting on things after it happens, giving me the full ability to focus entirely on the game while I'm playing. So people do seem to like the webcam, but they don't like the webcam when I'm actually in the middle of the game. We have which is cool, and pretty excited about that. So again, everything that you hear from just about this point on is going to be said afterwards. So let's give this our best go, okay? Alrighty, so I'm going to preface this right now by saying I make a really big mistake here pretty early on in the game that I think would mean the difference between, well, you're going to have to watch to see how this game ends up. It's an incredible game. There's definitely some interesting mechanics that are at play here, but I'll let you know right now, I make a big mistake, and I'm curious if you can guess it. So if you pause the video right now, I want you to guess below what a mistake can be as which. What do I overlook? What do I forget about what I can do? What some of my, not abilities in terms of the game, but one of the things I can do in order to help me win the game would be. So make your guess down below in the comments, and then we're going to see in a couple exactly what it is that I forget. It's a big deal. So I've decided I'm randomly controlling tonight. I always randomly control night one. Because I think that knowing roles is very, very important as which. Now, I control Locke into Sam Paris, and my target wants to kill everyone. They must be a serial killer. So I was like, okay, well, awesome. I have found myself the serial killer, which is good. So I'm trying to go through the day a little bit and just see what it is that is available to me from this point on. So I know now who the serial killer is, and collecting information is going to be a really important thing for me to do in order to find out necessarily who it is that I want to be controlling, and how it is that I can relate information to the SK and potentially other people. So I am working on a couple different wills here. Market fit, investigator, market fit, the sheriff. I kind of decide that I don't think that investigator is going to work as well because I'm afraid of being called out for being a witch should I have investigated people. That being said, I also, at this point, my thought process is kind of like, if I have to control Locke again to keep him from killing myself, how is it that I would necessarily be able to do so? I can't really claim a good sheriff role or investigator role if I can only investigate Locke. And then when I investigate somebody else, if they're the same person who then was witched, so to say, then people will know exactly who it is that I am. So some people are dead, and I'm trying to figure out which one it is that I want to go with. And I think that I decided at this point that I'm going to probably stick with sheriff instead of investigator. So I get rid of that to give me a little bit more room. I put in espionage randomly as NS, and then I put the Locke, the SK, as SK for the next day. The reason why I do this is not to sell him out. The reason why I do this is so that if I get pinged up and I need to call something, or I should say if he gets discovered, then we'll have some information. Now, if somebody was role blocked here, it was, if you're not able to pay attention a little bit to the chat, that's fine. Espionage was role blocked, and Spy came out. Spy came out, and that's something else that adds into this whole thing. Spy came out and actually said who it was that was visited yesterday. So we've determined that it's very likely to mean that Consort is what the Random Mafia is. So the next day, I'm thinking about it. I didn't do anything that particular day to try to reach out to Locke, and I decided to take Locke again and move them into Edward. Now, the person who came out as Spy is Seku, C-E-K-U. And my first gut, the reason why I didn't send Locke over to the Spy is simply because, well, you got to think that the Spy is being guarded. So it's a little bit of concern for sure. In terms of, if I was bodyguard or doctor, I would definitely be on the Spy right now, because that does seem to be the most potent person that I could be on. So I decided not to go ahead and send Locke to the Spy, thinking again that they're probably being blocked. So Edward's dead now, killed by an SK. And I chose Edward because Edward started random voting at the end of the game and at the end of the day yesterday. And random voting, the people who start random voting, in my mind, tend to be the people who start it tend to be town. The people who kind of push in the middle tend to be mafia or evil. So that's why I decided to kill Edward. I thought that he was more likely to be town. So here I am just working on the roll list again. Best dog I'm putting as NS, and I'm putting Lock-in as SK. But I'm ready to do something. And Splendid Daddy... Splendid Daddy is a spy, not CQ. My bad. I was confused there for a second. But said that night 2, CQ was visited and Locke was visited. And neither one of them died. So now it seems like my guess is that Locke may get called out. And I'm preparing right now with my copy-paste so that if Locke gets called out, then I can do something about it. Locke claims Doc and says that they were attacked and self-healed yesterday. I don't know why they necessarily didn't say that the other person must have been attacked, not them. That would have been, or if he claimed Roadblock, that would have been a smart move, I think, by him. Especially Roadblock, because that would have indicated that he wasn't going to be the SK, and that the escort had likely, was a person who was against him. So at this point now, he gets voted up, and you see right there, Market Fit. I actually posted, I was Sheriff, and I have Locke as SK. So I'm now selling Locke out, even though I know he's the SK, and it doesn't really help my case here. I didn't vote him up, but since he's up, he's claiming Doc, and I'm fairly certain he's going to die. I decided that I'm going to throw him under the bus in a way to, I'm confirmed not SK, ICC, says espionage. So at this point, like, everyone's voting, at least get their wills, who's CCTP, blah, blah. And so I say lies, he's SK. Because, again, I'm trying to put myself in the market now where I look like a sheriff. So, and this gives me other options as well. Looking like a sheriff also makes me play some other plays, such as potentially an executioner. So, I claim sheriff, basically. I ping him out as SK at the end there. Well, good luck without me. I happen to know he's the serial killer. It's definitely a bummer here because, of course, I didn't want him to die, but he was voted up so fast. Mafia was going to vote guilty anyway. And so we would have needed 4 town to vote in, basically, or more. And I don't think that was going to happen. Like, it just wasn't going to really happen there. So I decided instead to sell him out, quote unquote, even though he was really going to die, hopefully buying myself a little bit of voting power and a little bit of trust with the town. So I actually kind of agree with that decision by me. I think that at that point, it was the best option that I had. Again, I'm now in a situation where I'm going to have to take control of somebody in order to try to find who it is that the mafia is. So I chose one of the people who I think is likely to be mafia due to the fact that they were voting fairly early in that voting cycle. Well, I'm wrong. This person is not mafia. So I have dishonest heart targeting Edward's mom. No particular reason, I don't think, for Edward's mom, other than I didn't feel like they were mafia. I was attacked, and the jailers who I had targeted. Well, this isn't very good now. I was attacked, and we happen to know that there's a spy here, right? And so now I'm in trouble because Dishonest Heart was not mafia, so he is going to claim that he was witched. He happens to, in fact, be the jailer. Splendid Daddy the spy now calls me out as having been visited. Nobody else was visited that night, so it's not even like I can claim that I was escorted and throw the blame onto somebody else. Here I decide I'm going to go ahead with this as if Best Doggo is mafia. I'm going to play this off as if I'm an executioner now. So Best Doggo is mafia, and I'm trying real hard. Now I'm trying to look like X. Called out SK. I'm calling Sheriff. I called out SK, which I did actually do. Market Fit is lying. Of course I am. I called out SK. We already know Splinter's role. And it says Market is X then. And I think at this point, I think that now Mafia knows that I am a role that they don't want to kill, although they had attacked me. And I don't really know why they attacked me. I don't think that it was a particularly wise role. And I've been voted up. It was close, though. It was close, so I think that this is primarily town voting on me. Maybe there is a mafia in there or two. Looking at it in the background, I can't remember which ones of these are mafia or not. So at this point, I'm trying to come out as executioner. I don't believe that they're going to actually go ahead and inno me, but I got to give this a try, that people are scared enough that they don't actually vote. Yeah, Best Dog says after the spy did, though, which is true. So Best Doggo knows exactly what's going on, although I don't know why Best Doggo is pinging me on this, because Best Doggo, it ends up, is actually Mafia. So Mafia's pinging on me right here, and I'm a little bit mad about it. I'm a little bit salty, so I say nicely done, Maf, because I do believe that they could have kept me alive there if they didn't vote, or just kind of dissuade people from voting. So at this point, I'm going to be bringing back in the camera again, as well as the live commentary, and I'll be telling you, if you haven't already guessed, what my big mistake was. And you're going to see right off the bat that Locke, who's dead in chat right now, is going to call me out on it, and he's right. He's right. And so pay attention as I turn back on the camera and start back with the live commentary, and let me know what you think about this. All right? I'll be coming back in any second now. Hello, everybody. Welcome back. Oh, sorry. I'm talking to this guy. So, I was going to kill the spy. Well, it's, you would have gotten... Oh my gosh, spies can't read whispers. That's right. I'm stupid. Well, when you got pinged out then, you would have ended up dead anyway, and so would have I. Maybe he's got a point there. I could have whispered to him. I forgot the spies can't read whispers. Oh my gosh, now I feel stupid. So I could have just like told him, I guess, who it was but I don't think there's any reason to go for the spy, because I have a feeling that there would have been people on him trying to guard him. So perhaps not, though. I mean, the first thing I would have done is I would have been on spy if I was evil. Well, okay, whatever, Locke. I made a mistake then in terms of forgetting that spies can no longer listen to whispers. That's true. Spy should have been killed a while ago, though. Good news is Doctor was killed by Jailer. So that's good news. I mean, it's not good news for me because I'm dead. But Spy really should have been killed earlier. So I guess the best thing I could have done would have been to whisper the SK and tell him who I was. Like, witch, leave me alone. And just kind of let him do what he was going to do. And then try to find maybe the Godfather and tell the Godfather the same thing. So, oh boy. So I definitely could have done a better job there. I liked my plays, though. Beside that, I thought I was playing well. Like, I really thought that my play was pretty decent. So I was getting ready to come out as if I was Executioner, hoping that people wouldn't vote on me because they thought I was Executioner, like the any Executioner. I called out serial killer Locke at the end of the day there because I was pretty sure he was going to get killed, that he was going to be lynched. And so I wanted to make sure that I came out and as if I was, in fact, the sheriff. A sheriff at that point would have come out if they were a real sheriff. And that would have really helped us out right here. What we see right now in the votes, though, this is probably a Mafia versus Town vote. That makes me feel like Dishonest Heart is probably, well, and again, Grandpa. Both people could be voting against Grandpa. Could be Mafia. So there's 3 townies. Oh, that's right. Dishonest Heart is the jailer. Duh. What? This guy is he seeing jailer? Are you kidding me? That makes no sense. Grandpa says, I'm the mayor. Who? Did you come out? Did I miss that? Must have missed it. Or it's a lie, of course. Yeah, I don't know. I thought that I had a decent play at the end. I was trying to come out and go ahead and convince them that I was Executioner, buying me some more time. To try to, I mean, I wouldn't have been targeted by Mafia at that point. So yeah, what I should have done though, the ideal would have been me. I forgot that Spy couldn't read whispers anymore, so that's entirely my bad. I should have though, if I had known that, if I remember that, I would have told serial killer who I was. Probably like in the middle of an important portion of the day, maybe the voting section, because when people are voting, it gets a little bit hard to track who's whispering who. So I could have told serial killer then who it was that I was. Although SK would have been killed either way, I think. And then again, SK said they would have gone for spy. I think he said that they were going to go for spy night 1 instead of who I sent them to. But that doesn't really help because, yeah, I don't think that would really have helped him because then he wouldn't have known who I was. And if I didn't go for him night 1, I wouldn't have found him. So I don't know. I don't really know necessarily. I tried pretty hard. Did okay. I think my claim for executioner at the end was necessary because I got visited by Mafia. Although I think Mafia made a mistake by going to attack me. Well, evidently they did, but beyond that, I don't think that I felt particularly towny or anything. Like I thought that I was a bad kill that day. Worst comes to worst, like at the most, I'm the actual sheriff. So they must have believed my claim if they're paying any attention. So, like, evidently, it seems like what was likely the case. Oh wait, did they find the jailer? Oh wait, they would have had to find jailer and mafioso. Now I'm confused. That's because I'm not the best. Who is the surviving man? Survivor is Splenda. Splenda is the survivor. At least claimed survivor, I believe. Edward's mom is now being put up after voting against Grandpa. I just want to say, what could this possibly be? I mean, Mafia may have the any here, couldn't they? Medium, spy, investigator, doctor, jailers. Nothing else is confirmed here. Okay, so 7 is Uber driver. You mean transporter? Alright, so I know this can get 7, but it's not gonna work. Nut Juice I think is likely the Godfather, or definitely Mafia at least. And if this is Mafia right here, then Edward's mom. Is Edward's mom the person that claimed survivor? Magram claimed survivor. Okay. Dear Edward, if you knew this, I'm already dead, but I love you and will always love you. Keep surviving. Love always, Edward's mom. That's funny. No, sheriff. Well, I mean, Best Doggo appears to actually be Mafia. Splenda Daddy and Grandpa may also be Mafia then, is what it looks like. It's probably likely the case. And then Splenda Daddy at least claimed survivor, but could actually be Mafia. Or could be the survivor who's voting with Mafia now. So there's a probably a likely possibility that we saw two Mafia there. But the problem is I think that this is over for town. I think the town's just going to lose this one right off the bat. Yeah, you know what I should have done? And so it's better here, says Edward's mom. That's funny. I definitely should have whispered Locke the serial killer. I had forgotten, my bad guys, that Spy no longer hears whispers. So I should have whispered him and then went to go find Mafia. Probably would have been the better choice. I mean, it looks like Best Doggo is actually Mafia. I could have just gone ahead and I mean, these guys are trying. It sounds like town's still trying, but they shouldn't be trying anymore. I mean, you always try, I guess. You always try, but so I mean, Transporter. If there's actually Transporter, there's a possibility here that Transporter could potentially win the game for town. It would be hard to win though. Do we actually have an escort, or is it Mafia's consort? It seemed like it was Mafia's consort. But maybe it's not. I think the spy said right off the bat on the first day. Trans, not attacked by Mafia. Spy said that's when Locke was visited. Night 1, espionage. Oh, that's who was visited, yeah. And espionage was visited that day? Or somebody was. The investigator was? I don't remember. Somebody was. So espionage was roll blocked that day, and Benchidin was killed. So yeah, that definitely makes it sound like Mafia had. I mean, then again, they could have been blocked by an escort and then also visited by Mafia on the same night. That's possible. So Inquisitive Dog is being killed here. Splendid Daddy says this game's gone on for too long. Magrim is the one who claimed Survivor, though. I misspoke before. Yeah, I mean, I'm not particularly happy with how I played this game, but I thought the X claim at the end was good. I think claiming Survivor or Sheriff instead of Investigator was good, because you can kind of use the same deal. You know, if you know their role exactly, you know whether or not they'd be if they'd be coming up as SK or Mafia or not, because you know their role. So it's just as easy to do that. What I mean by that is, like, let's say that I have my will here, and you can claim Investigator because you know their exact role, so that's really strong. But you can also claim Sheriff to a degree at least, because if I see Espionage is Town, I get to just say an S. You know? If it's a Town role. I know Locke is the SK, so I can put SK there. If Best Doggo is, say, the Consort, I could say Mafia there. So it gives you the ability to play a pretty decent Sheriff if you're the Witch. And then, because you don't want to be visiting them on the same night that they claim Witch, you can just move them around after you have them. And that's what I like to do in terms of trying to throw people off my scent as a Witch. Evidently, I didn't play it terribly well today. Didn't help that I got visited. I don't think I would have otherwise been on the radar. It would have been a very good game for me to win had I been able to find out who Mafia was. And so definitely think that I could have played that better. But I also don't think it was the worst play that I've ever had. I always Witch night 1. I always try to find people night 1 because I think it's very valuable to have that information. So, alrighty guys. Well, I gave it a go. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did enjoy the video, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already done so. And if you didn't like the video, leave a dislike. You know, I don't blame you. It wasn't the greatest video, but it's good. It's pretty decent. And I'd like to hear what your thoughts were. Granted that I did forget that Spy doesn't see whispers. If I did know that, I think it would have been a different game entirely. But beyond that, how'd I do? You know, let me know below. All right, guys, hope you all enjoyed. And as always, you know the drill. Peace out.